Thank you, and welcome back, folks, for Get Good Season 5 European Edition. Now we're going to be hopping into some rookie division. That's going to be the 2,500 to 3,000. We're going to be having Ray Dragons versus BoomerSquad for your casting entertainment. I'm going to be Sir Waltham, joined again by Ocean. Ocean, how do we feel about these two?
Both of these teams would look pretty impressive in the rookie division. Both of these teams with positive records, 3-1 records to be precise. And a little bit of an interesting sort of bit of information is both of these teams tend to prefer brawlier compositions. And I noticed a couple of fun heroes that we might want to see from in particular Ray Dragons, who noted in their preferred heroes Genji and Junkrat, two heroes that you don't see too often right now. So it's going to be interesting to see both of these teams go at it with preferably their brawl compositions on this series.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a change up, a little bit of a difference in taste when it comes to these two. But when it comes to these, perhaps less mechanically inclined games, I think that the meta might be a little less relevant than just mechanical comfortability on the heroes. So, if there's a team that's, preferable to running Wrecking Ball and they have a good Wrecking Ball player, then that can absolutely work in this area. I'm curious to see how it reflects in these games moving forward.
Yeah, with the Wrecking Ball pick in particular, I feel like that is a really good pick in the lower tier games because a lot of teams struggle with having an identity and a sense of where they like to position. And if you can displace that in any sort of way, you're going to be disrupting a lot of these lower tier teams. So Wrecking Ball is definitely one of those picks that definitely makes sense in that sort of situation.
Yeah, I certainly have to agree here. As we get looking on to the rosters of these teams, Ray Dragon's going to be consisting of Renomniz, as well as Night Husky 95, Sidobato, Oscarius, Sharky, and Aniki, a BoomerSquad on the opposite side of the field, going to be looking at Lotyu, Daryl Jaeger, Lilynet, Ruby, Hanzo Main, GJ, Ziz. I'm so good. I'm going to be so bad at pronouncing that name the entire time here. So DJ, I apologize.
Yeah, DJ Zilstra, I think, is what we're going to attempt to go with. So let's see how these players shape up in this match. It's definitely interesting to watch these lower tier games. I like how we've kind of got a good mix of action there. We had an expert match earlier, which is quite high, and now we've got the lower tier. I'm super excited to see what the difference is. Of course, on night one of NA, I believe we had an advanced and an expert game, which are very, very close. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's a little bit of a difference in character and identity from these rookie teams.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like they say, the best emotional roller coasters have great highs and low lows, and I think we are kind of on the road to a great emotional roller coaster. Of course, coming off the back of Wholesnack and B Swarm, Wholesnack looked pretty clean. I won't say clean; they looked pretty dominant that game, and I'm wondering if there's going to be one of these teams that are going to be standing out in a similar fashion. But I mean, looking at their score lines, they're both 3-1, if my count's correct.
Yeah, they're both 3-1, so it's gonna be interesting to see as we start up in Lijiang Tower again. It seems to be everyone's favorite map, Lijiang, especially in the control game type.
Yeah, love seeing Gardens come up, which is going to be our first map moving forward. Curious as to what these teams are going to run. Flying Heroes, Pharah, Mercy, and Echo seem to be pretty popular on Gardens. So we're going to be seeing if that's going to be some options coming out here. But overall, not too much to speak of besides that. What do you think, Hiroshi?
Definitely in these lower tier games, I feel like if you can give resources to a DPS player that might be able to control one area of space, you could definitely have an advantage. So heroes like Brigitte and Mercy, I feel like are going to be especially powerful, especially on Gardens. If you can get a little pharmacy in the air, that's kind of what I want to see from either of these teams.
You're certainly speaking my language now as we are waiting for these heroes rosters to come online. We're going to be seeing it come on, and it looks like the teams at the start might be opting for some Ryan Zarya action. I'm curious to see that getting going.
Yeah, Ryan Zarya, of course, is one of the more stable and easy to understand tank compositions. A little bit more difficult, or a little easier to understand than the Orisa Sigma and the Devo Winston and the Devo Wrecking Ball. So and the Wrecking Ball Roadhog, which has seen light in some tournaments recently, where you're just kind of causing chaos, kind of like the triple DPS composition has at times. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to see both of these teams are running for the more similar option.
Yeah, and speaking of a little bit of chaos, there's going to be a quick pause because, it wouldn't be any Overwatch cast without at least one pause in there due to some disconnection or some sort of latency bump or something. We don't know quite what the issue is yet, but if you're asking me as a caster, I'd rather see this this pause come out now, when the teams won't be as affected instead of, oh, our Reinhardt who had Earth Shatter just DC'd and now he has to walk back from spawn and doesn't have Earth Shatter. So I think that better to get this out of the way now. It looks like we will be unpausing here in just a second as these doors open up.
Maybe someone just had to go quickly grab some food, maybe they were hungry, and maybe they're going to be hungry for some kills as the match starts, as we get started. So we're going to see this match of teleporter strat out of, I believe, BoomerSquad, is they're going to go straight to the point.
Yeah, and straight to the grave will go Renomins, as this fight continues to carry on. It's going to be pretty even so far, 1-for-1 in this team, but Lotyu going to be dropped. No main tank for the side of BoomerSquad, meaning that they're in a little bit of a danger of just getting walked up on. However, it looks like they're holding their ground for the time being. The oppression coming in, Night Husky trying to make a return, but looks like they're just going to throw themselves off the map. Not quite sure if there was a strategy behind that or just a missed ability. You hate to see it sometimes here, folks, and possession has not been given up yet, but it looks like despite early losses, BoomerSquad going to be walking in and absolutely taking this point to start. And that's going to be first possession going over to BoomerSquad.
Yeah, BoomerSquad looking clean so far. Made a mistake earlier in addressing the Symmetra teleporter strategy being on their side. It's actually on Ray Dragons that they're running the Symmetra teleporter strategy. But on this, talking about BoomerSquad, they are running this Ashe and Echo composition, which controls a lot of space on any part of this Legion Garden map. So they're able to get a lot of kills with that. There's a kill already on the Night Husky from Honzo Man, who is playing Ashe, so I don't think you are Honzo Man, good sir. So it's interesting to see that they are able to control some of this.
Perhaps just a recreational Hanzo main as this fight continues to carry on. It looks like the side of Ray Dragons are just going to be holding up in this building. They're not really going to be making too many quick moves. I admire them getting a nice, collection of their ideas here. And they drop the grab, they drop the coalescence, and with that, it looks like it's going to help them to win this fight. The return coalescence coming out from Lilinet helps the ults equalize here, but Ray Dragon's able to get a retake as soon as they clear off the point.
I like Ray Dragon's just kind of like sitting there, deciding their plan and going right for the plan. Their plan is to Graviton Surge and Coalescence to make sure that they get damage for a shield, and they do that perfectly. And I mean, although they have to invest 2 ultimates, there are 2 pretty easy to get ultimates if you can keep your Zarya charged and keep your Moira involved in the fight. Night Husky again goes down to Lotyu, and it looks like they're going to use the Graviton Surge here, mixed up with the Riptide. We'll see how this fight ends on.
Yeah, it looks like it wasn't able to hit the Lucio, who was wall riding, questionable there, but it's going to work out for the BoomerSquad, who continue to maintain here, able to retake this point, and now the clock's ticking up for them.
Yeah, they also have the Sound Barrier online for close to last fight territory, so if they can save that Sound Barrier and use it at the opportune moment, they might already have this map won.
Yeah, this fight going out on the bridge looks like it's going to be committed to. Sharky pushing up with that shield, trying to get some swings in, but quickly backs off. It's Daryl Jaeger trying to hide behind this rock, perhaps get some sneaky damage in. But again, Ray Dragon's going to be backing off and just waiting to go into house once more. Hanzo Main taking down Night Husky in the sky. You like seeing that now. It's going to be man up for BoomerSquad as this last fight gets going here. Lucio dangerously low. The Coalescence going to be popped for it, but not a moment too early. With that, Lucio going to be dropping. The Earth Shatter coming in, but the Return Shatter as the Zarya grab comes through. Sidobato has to try to make something happen. Somebody has to get on the point. The Zarya backing off is not where you want to be if you want to keep this fight in. And with that, it looks like, surprisingly, it's going to be Ray Dragon's able to get a recontest here. And the Junkrat so low. Daryl Jaeger trying their best. And BoomerSquad climbing it back. The Wrecking Ball having to come in to do a little bit of contest. But can it be enough? BoomerSquad trying to hold their teeth, sink their teeth into this match. Both Wrecking Balls just swinging around like a Newton toy in an office building. And with this, it looks like BoomerSquad have numbers up, but they can't seem to do anything about this Wrecking Ball. That is until he eventually comes to a stop. And with that, BoomerSquad have numbers on the point. This has to be it. Sound Barrier comes out. And with that, it's looking all numbers for BoomerSquad.
Yeah, BoomerSquad managed to take that crazy last fight. One thing I want to point out is they kind of had the advantage and they lost it. They got the advantage through pick on the Night Husky, which seems to be far too regular occurrence so far this match. Night Husky seems to be going down very early, more often than not. But credit to Red Dragons, they managed to bring the fight back with a very clever Graviton Surge and Earth Shatter combination. However, it wasn't enough, as we saw DJ Zolstra with a very impressive Soundbar come back with Jaguar to just kind of pop off and have their team BoomerSquad take the rest of Lijiang Garden.
Yeah, and now we're going to be taking a break from that high-flying action and going into Night Market. The compositions, at least on the tank front, going to be looking pretty similar. Real Jaeger actually looks like they'll be rolling out with the Torbjorn. This is the second Torbjorn we've seen today. I feel kind of blessed right now.
Yeah, more Torbjorn, more smiles for everyone else, and he's getting picked down early. Let's see if it makes it.
Yeah, Lotu gonna be swinging big here, getting 4 off the back of that big Brian hammer. And just like that, BoomerSquad able to take it. Torbjorn holds true for his team, helps them out, chasing down Sidobato on this Zarya. Gonna be getting him with the right clicks and backing off as that kill comes in.
Yeah, Sidobato has actually looked quite good on Zarya despite Red Dragons really struggling so far in this series. But the more decisive play from BoomerSquad when making that Symmetra teleporter and enabling Lotu immediately definitely helped them win that fight securely. And now look, Lotu's got that Earth Shatter playing a little bit sneakily, wants to get a big one here. Let's see if it's going to make it.
Yeah, you gotta expect if you're looking at the kill feed that there's gonna be an Earth Shatter coming in. If you're the Ray Dragons, they're gonna be looking for it. Lotu backing off, deciding he doesn't want to go for it just quite yet. Goes for it, lands the quad, getting 4. And it's gonna, the return shatter coming in, landing 3 as well. Lotu gonna get pinned off the back end. And now Real Jaeger gonna have to try to push up Sidobato. Has been in this position before, but now they come out victorious. Well, until Ruby comes in.
Yeah, I mean, he won his 1v1 and then kind of lost the actual important show of the team fight, but did win his 1v1, so we'll give credit to Sidobato there. Now has the Graviton Surge online, and they're gonna need to use that tool if they're going to come back here on Lijiang Night Market.
We'll see if they do. Hanzo main on the sim trying to make something happen. Doesn't seem to have set up any of the sim turrets right immediately onto that choke. And it looks like the Molten Core is going to come out from Real Jaeger, throwing down that hot magma, trying to make something happen. And Reno going to be taken down to 1 HP almost. Has the Riptire, so we'll have the opportunity for opening. But this peppering just comes through. Neither team really wanting to push through this choke, but that goes in favor of the BoomerSquad. And Real Jaeger coming in, has the turret set up. The tire coming in from Reno, not going to be landing on anything. And with that, Ray Dragons trying to continue keeping this pressure applied, but they just can't find it out.
Yeah, they can't burst through this choke. They've not been Graviton Surge, so they're stuck in this choke for a little while longer. They also lost a member. Nomin's has gone down, and it looks like they're just going to get battered apart here on Night Market. Not even able to use that key tool on the Graviton Surge, as we've seen Invisible Coalescence try and get some kills and wipe up these team fights.
Yeah, the Sim Wall going to be coming in just to secure this fight against Sidobato. Been feeling like the last kill in each one of these fights. The big hammer going on to Oscarius as well. That Lucio not long for this world either. Pin trying to come through Ladu, but you've done your job, my friend. I think you can start to take a little bit of a rest as soon as this point is cleared off. Hanzo Main going to be helping them out with that. The Earth Shatter on the Reaper just to secure it. And with that, it's going to go in favor of the BoomerSquad.
Yeah, well, you're kind of styling at the end of that last round. It was kind of a roll. It seemed like quite an easy win there for BoomerSquad on that control map where you have to make a lot of quick decisions, need to be able to think carefully and make your fight plans well. I mean, there was that one fight where Red Dragons were able to just use their Graviton Surge to go left in the fight. But other than that, it's been pretty convincing and very dominant from the BoomerSquad. Red Dragons not really showing any sign of mechanical skill or life so far.
Yeah, and for Lotu, we just saw it in the play of the game, but what a great prediction coming in, knowing that the enemy team, or anticipating that the enemy team would have a Symmetra teleporter going up, be landing in the same spot, so you just fire strike where you know that teleporter is going to be, and from there it's just a few swipes of your hammer and they're dead. Some great prediction there. You like seeing it if you're a tank main. But again, that does put BoomerSquad up 1. And now, Ocean, what do you think we can count on in terms of maps coming out?
I mean, it's very difficult to try and pick out a strength of the Ray Dragons roster because they got so dominated there on that first map in Lijiang. So definitely maybe look to try and give Cidabato a little bit more reign on the Zarya and try and go that sort of route. So give your Zarya as many resources as possible. So maybe a map like Rialto. Probably Rialto is probably your best bet to give a Zarya resources, even though double shield or dive compositions are typically preferred on that map. You gotta go for your win condition, especially in these lower tiers.
Certainly, and it looks like the win condition for the Red Dragons is going to be Junkertown. They're going to be looking to favor that map. Not too surprising, that is what they put down. Unlike last match, we actually have some difference in map pool favorites here. It would have been preferable, I think, if you're on the side of BoomerSquad, to go Rialto, but wasn't in their pocket. So Ray Dragon's going to be opting for Junkertown as we get moving forward. And I kind of like it. I like the concept of Junkertown in general. I think it might lean a little bit more, particularly on that second point where you need to have some good shield control so you're not just taking a lot of unnecessary damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure I really agree with this choice of going for Junkertown. Junkertown seems to be a map where you're relying on your DPS to win your DPS duels, and Red Dragons weren't really doing that at any point. And then when it comes to second point, it really relies on your tank rotations, and again, last year you just looked like the best tank in the lobby for the majority of that Lijiang match.
Yeah, certainly you have to think so. But again, this can go back. We can all bring it, I guess, full circle back to what we said earlier when, maybe you forgo what is meta. Maybe you forgo, what is even, the most counterintuitive for your opponent. And you just say, we're most comfortable on Junkertown. We want to play how we're most comfortable. And that is, this situation. That is them forgoing what might hinder Ray Dragon, or BoomerSquad more, and just opting, we need to be on our game right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a choice to make, especially in these lower tiers. Comfort does mean a lot. However, we are seeing some substitutions. Speaking of comfort, and comfort potentially going away, we have Rumsky coming in for the BoomerSquad, and they will be stepping in for DJ Zylstra, which surprised me because DJ Zylstra looked really, really clean on the Lucio on Lijiang Garden in particular.
Yeah, I certainly have to agree. I don't really have too many complaints there. There's a lot of people who say if you're not calling out supports, then they're doing their job. I tend to agree with that. I don't think we had too many critiques. I think that some of the supports, I can't remember which one, it may have been DJ, who got saved from a Junkrat tire through some weird LOSing while they were wall riding on the outside of gardens. But other than that, there's no plays that really come to mind where I think, oh, that support didn't do their job or anything like that. I don't think we've been seeing a lot of Ana, so anti-nades and sleep darts are the only real skill shot I would have really expected to see out of the supports.
Yeah, and additionally, Red Dragons making substitution. Night Husky is going to come out for Anoki, which I think makes sense because Night Husky on a lot of occasions was picked up early on Lijiang Garden, and that definitely hindered Red Dragons. So I really do like the substitution of Anoki coming in to try and fill that extra DPS slot here on Junkertown.
Yeah, and for those of you at home, we want to give you the heads up that the team sides have swapped. So Ray Dragon's going to be on the right in red. You can call them the Red Ray Dragons, I guess. And BoomerSquad's going to be booming blue on the left. So, making sure that we are keeping you guys aware and focused as to what might be showing up on your screens on your end of the way there. But we're going to be going on to Junkertown, and because they're on the red side, the Ray Dragons are going to be attacking first. Do you have any predictions on Comp Ocean?
I mean, we might just see some double sniper combinations, which are very, very, very strong here on this map. But it looks like we're going to see some just projectile play coming out of the Ray Dragons on the offense. And on the defense, we're going to see no real surprise here. A double shield composition. And Ash is very strong in this map as well. And kind of one of those more long-range heroes, sniper heroes, as I suggested. So we'll see how that goes. And a little bit of a weird composition coming out from Red Dragons, just kind of all over the place. They got the Lucio Moira, which is a stable support core, 2 projectile heroes, and a Winston Zarya.
Yeah, it's quite curious there. The members don't really seem to have a whole lot of synergy there. You don't necessarily think this is a strong dive, this is a strong shield break. This may just be a, attacking team debate composition. We'll have to find out as these doors are going to open up. And it looks like that's actually going to be the comp coming out from Ray Dragon. Sharky taking some early damage, immediately brought to their knees by Low2. Again, getting those early kills. My main tank friend will be seeing if that can follow up. And the high-flying Junkrat Reno trying to get some damage in. Brought dangerously one. Hanzo not able to close those kills. Going to be regretting that a little bit later if Reno's able to build up some ult charge coming in. Hanzo standing still for just a moment. That's not the position you want to be in as an Ashe. The deflect coming in, Real Jaeger trying to get some damage done. Not quite able to find it. So far, a pretty slow fight. That is until Hanzo main drops. Sharky soon to follow. The res going to be coming out onto Hanzo main, but the immortality field taken down by the Junkrat Reno. Not going to be able to focus on those DPS or tank players when that immortality field is up. Cinnabotto gonna finally be getting some kills this time around off the back end with the McCree. Low2 gonna be dropping as well. Now Ray Dragons seem like they have possession.
Yeah, it looked like at the start of the fight we were just going to see the trend of BoomerSquad are dominating. They're playing the more solidified comp. They're probably just going to go and take this map instantly. But a nice play from Cinnabotto just to go into the back line and take down the main DPS threat means that they are able to just clean up point A as there's no retake coming in from BoomerSquad.
Yeah, and now we're seeing BoomerSquad hold up on that upper area. Cinnabotto trying to get some damage in there with the Zarya. Right click's not quite able to find it. A hard area to arc those projectiles into. And now the bunker area coming up from Low2. The Real Jaeger going to be swapping on to the Pharah. A good bubble coming out from Cinnabotto, but not quite enough as they do start to hemorrhage losses. The dash coming in from Inoki, gonna be ready for that Dragon Blade. We'll see if they use it this fight. They are man down, so they may not be opting into it. Aniki gonna be dropping that Coalescence, focusing that Mercy, able to drop them mid-Valk. That is some good utility coming out from that. Immortality Field gonna be dropped right onto Low2 as Inoki focuses them with that Dragon Blade, not able to be brought down to their knees. Ruby taking down Inoki for their troubles. The Grab Flux coming in, and now it's going to be the Sound Barrier coming in from Ascarius, giving their team the survivability they need to live through that Grab Flux. The Junkrat Tower coming in takes down Low2, and with this, it looks like what was perhaps not their starting fight will end up going in favor of the Ray Dragons.
Yeah, Ray Dragons, it looks like they were going behind in that fight after a couple good kills from that BoomerSquad defense. Cinnabotto again getting another crucial kill, leading up to Ray Dragons getting another foothold in the fight. However, I would like to kind of compliment BoomerSquad's off-tank Ruby. She makes a really good play after they get the kill to try and take the space and prevent Ray Dragons from taking the space on the point. However, isn't really backed up or followed up by her team, but is the correct decision to make in that off-tank role. So good play coming out from the off-tank on BoomerSquad.
A good play coming in from Real Jaeger as well, noticing Inoki dangerously lit, going to be using that Rocket Barrage to get one off the back as well. The chase coming in from Ruby. She's going to be chasing down Reno on that Junkrat, getting that final kill. And with this, BoomerSquad continues to hold 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, I would also like to draw attention to the tank line of Ray Dragons. Sharky and Cinnabotto are playing quite aggressive, and Sharky, she may be dying a lot, however, is giving resources and space to her DPS in Inoki and Cinnabotto to try and get those kills. Cinnabotto
Certainly a little bit of a nap coming through from Sharky, but she will be woken up with a quick, brisk walk to the grave. And with that, it's looking good once again for BoomerSquad, but they do take their losses. Ruby and Hanzo main both going to be falling here. And now Low2 going to be backing up to trying to get away. And after be dropping that shield, but gets chased down. And they luckily have the rest of their team. They do have Lilinet to try to keep them alive, and it looks like they will succeed. It's going to be Low2 able to escape, and almost getting the kill on Inoki, not going to be quite happening. The Riptire coming in from Reno. Rumsky able to take it down right before explosion. The Death Blossom coming in from Hanzo main does claim one on Aniki, and the Flashbang Fan, the Hammer, the bane of all of my ranked games, coming through onto the Real Jaeger. But Inoki will pay for their hubris on McCree as BoomerSquad continue to hold.
Very scrappy and massive fight from both teams. Neither tank line really able to hold down an area, hold down some sort of controlling space. However, they do manage to win it on the defense thanks to respawns at home. I mean, it looks mechanically a lot better than a lot of the other DPS in the lobby. So it's going to be interesting to see how many duels Hanzo main, how many decide to take it, how many sprint resources will Hanzo main get. There's another kill from the Real Jaeger, helped out by Hanzo main on that.
Yeah, the sound barrier once again coming out. Scary has been doing a good job to keep those in the pocket for Ruby's grab. Fluxus, she has not been able to get too many kills off the back end. Sharky holding shield, trying to make something happen, trying to buy space for their team. Looking back, realizing the team's probably not as far up as they might like. Going for the pin charge, not going to be finding anything. Just going to get some damage. The fire strike also proves futile. Scary is going to be the real damage dealer here on that Lucio, looking to get those kills. In fact, will be getting one. And now Sharky can swing a little bit more liberally with the Reinhardt. Goes for the pin, doesn't quite land it, but it's okay. Cinnabato's there to deal damage as well.
Yeah, however, no ultimates left. All the resources in that ultimate department have been exhausted in that past fight. Cinnabata might be able to get up to that graviton charge as well as Sharky's Earth Shatter. However, it's going to be really difficult for the offensive.
Now we're hearing the high, or not the high, rather the Soldier Tac Visor coming out from Daryl Jaeger, and it doesn't matter. Ray Dragons have it locked down. They take this point in a blistering speed.
Yeah, Cinnabata Zarya was clean the entire way through that map of Junket Town. Never really lost high charge. Never really died at all. And I think that's a lot of that is Sharky's aggression. Just kind of feeding a little bit. Kind of reminds me how the Philadelphia Fusion played in season 1 of OWL, where they kind of sent Fraggy into feed, and we're like, okay, you're gonna feed. And EQ, what you're gonna do is you're also gonna feed, and then Carpet, you're gonna kill things because they're feeding, and that creates space. And that's kind of what's happening here. That's kind of what reminds me of what we're seeing from Ray Dragons here. But BoomerSquad, they're playing these solidified comps. They look good as one, but then mid-fight, they kind of just squeeze away from each other and lose, the sort of impact of the composition they're running. They seem to be running the compositions that are strong, but not understanding how they work and what you need to do to have those compositions, give you an advantage.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the swing back can come through here for the BoomerSquad. They're now going to be on the attack. They're going to be a little bit shaken off of the back of their defense here. And an interesting thing I'm seeing so far is what it looks like. The defense might be opting into that pulled pork, the ball and chain, the yoink and oink composition of Roadhog and Orisa. I kind of like it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they can pull up any hold-hook combinations. I think that's really, really important to see. As we actually see, we have a disconnect. We're kind of paused right now, so we can talk a little bit more about these compositions. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can see a little bit more of the BoomerSquad that we saw in Legion Tower, who dominated Legion Tower. Legion Tower wasn't even close. At least in this sort of map where they are losing, they at least look good at points, especially their DPS and Hunterman and Daryl Jaeger. I want to see Lotchi on the Reinhardt. I want to see Lotchi running in, getting those kills. I want to see that support go into Lotchi. I want to see Ruby on the Zarya. She did look pretty good on the Sigma, but it looks like she had a better understanding of Sigma and the composition they were running than the rest of the team did, which meant that when she was doing kind of the right thing to do and no one else was kind of following up, she was just kind of feeding. So maybe just run something a little bit more basic, a little more simple, and we'll see if Lotchi and Ruby can kind of carry this match with the tank one.
Yeah, I'm curious. I had a little bit of a realization. Do you think that last point on, or I guess that third point when they were just making that cart around the final bend, Lotchi was on that Orisa having to kite back a lot to avoid getting staggered. And do you think that it would have been better for Lotchi just eat that kill early so they could get a more collected team fight? Or do you think that they didn't get punished as much as they could have, so they were fine with it? They did the best they could in that situation. Do you think that could have been a little bit better in terms of team awareness?
Yes and no. I feel like you should have a call, either get out and put all resources into the target and get out, or die. And it seems like that call was never made, so they kind of just did a mix of both, and you never want that to happen. So as long as a call is made and one of the things is done, there's not a real big problem, especially in the lower tiers. But when there is no call made, then you get that sort of mess. So I would like to see them just die on car, and especially in the escort game mode, where you just want to lower the time bank as much as possible, because the time bank stays the same when you can't have points. It's not like hybrid or TCP/assault, where if you capture an overtime, you don't get another go if the team captures more than a minute. If you cap all 3 points, you get to go again. So if you just lower the time bank as much as you can and die on card, that's a thing that you can see a lot more on escort, and then you can set up later for that last fight where you'll be contested.
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head there with one of my favorite concepts is the time bank. It doesn't It doesn't get built up, so now it's going to be a little bit harder for BoomerSquad to really kind of come up with a comparable pace. I mean, I guess the question comes down to, does BoomerSquad have a composition and players that can be that explosive, that can just knock through this map as fast, if not faster, than we saw the Ray Dragons come through? I think that based off of one map, it's a little unfair to make that judgment call, but I think this will be the map where we really get a feel for that.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see them just go back on that Ryan Zarya composition, but the problem with that Ryan Zarya simple composition is it isn't that explosive unless you get that Zarya fully charged and set up on high grounds and flanking and playing a little bit more aggressive, which is very difficult to do at the lower levels, especially when you're watching for those flanks. You're trying to keep aware, because like when you're a rookie and you're getting streamed, you're gonna be a little bit more scared to make mistakes, so you'll be looking a little bit more out for those flanks. So it's gonna be difficult to run that Ryan Zarya composition and be more explicit. So I would like to see them try something Pirate should be. I want to see the Bastion come on, and just try and burst through a time I could shatter the confidence of Ray Dragons. But I do think they should stick with the Ryan Zarya composition and just make sure they get to the end of the map and then anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm a little bit resentful of you for recommending that the Pirate Ship Bastion composition be put into the ether, but for the sake of the cast, I will forgive you for now. It doesn't look like that's going to be the opt for the attack. It looks like we're going to be seeing the Mei come out. I have some equally bad memories of Mei on Junkertown when it comes to some massive holds, but those are usually on the defense, where you just get that Mei wall and spam out the side building hold like right out of spawn.
Oh, no. We don't talk about those on stream because then people will get ideas.
Well, with that, Ray Dragon is going to be looking to get in some early damage with Renomnes, trying to just find some Junker pills to hit. Not going to be successful in that, though. The trap, rather, doesn't find much either. And it doesn't look like the burst damage that needs to come through for Ray Dragons is exactly happening. The Halt Hook has not been hit just yet, and Hanzomain able to deal tip damage with that massive bow and arrow. Those huge hitboxes for the bow. Cinnabotto going to be trying to get some shield break in with the right click from Hog. Not quite able to deal enough, though, to make Motu have to back off for too long. He does have to back off for a moment. But with that, Hanzomain able to find the first kill of this fight, and Inoki taken down. And Renomnes taken down equally as fast, or rather damaged equally as fast, and now BoomerSquad gonna be flooding onto the field, looking to get in there and deal that damage to the Mei wall. Not there to section off from Cinnabotto, but Motu has them covered, rather has them in a massive bear hug as that pin charge does go through, gets the kill, and with this, BoomerSquad seems to win it in one fight.
Yeah, we see that BoomerSquad are now on a more comfortable picks. Hanzomain on the Hanzo gets a couple of kills to kind of shake that up early on, and when you're running this like Arista hold composition, you have to hit hold hooks, otherwise you're not going to win the fight, or either that Renomnes needs to get a lot of value on the Junkrat. Neither of those things happened, and it now looks like the momentum is well on the side of BoomerSquad, and they're almost up to that Graviton Surge Dragon Strike combination.
Yeah, they certainly have the opportunity to use it here. Aniki going to be dangerously low, but they drop the Earth Shatter, not going to be opting into that Dragon Strike grab combo. Daryl Jaeger trying to get Inoki. Inoki has that high noon, going to be dropping it. Gets two off the back end, Hanzoman and Lilinet, but will it be enough? It looks like it just might, as the Ray Dragon's reinforcements are going to come in. Low too dangerously low on that shield. Gets torn down by Renomnes in the back with a mine.
I need to recharge.
I'm not so sure how that fight twisted in favor of Ray Dragons, but okay. Lodge got a huge Earth Shatter, but there was a very minor lack of follow-up. And Inoki is getting tracked by Daryl Jaeger as the McCree wildly flanks up to the high ground, but choosing to drop even though Daryl Jaeger knows that the McCree's going to the high ground, so maybe a lack of communication led to that sort of fight drop. But here's a Graviton Surge Blizzard combo, and that is disruptive as hell, as Arden's gonna go and take it.
Yeah, Scarius tries to drop that sound barrier to help out their squad, but as soon as that Blizzard and Graviton get layered on top of one another, it's not going to be enough. Fortunately, it's not over for the BoomerSquad. Renomnes is going to take out two. All the support gone for the side of BoomerSquad. It's looking grim for them, but they might be able to equal on Renomnes. They don't go for the chase wisely, knowing that Junkrat has stopped out with the trap and mines. And Ray Dragon kiting so well. I mean, excuse me, Renomnes kiting so well.
He just kind of ran away to try to take the chicken all the point B, point A, sorry. But That actually buys a lot of time. Ronam's decision to go for the Riptire and then just kind of stall the line, lead them on a wild goose chase, give them a lot of time, and here
big shatter.
Result of that time, huge shatter from Sharky. They're able to win the fight from there.
Yeah, Inoki able to get that high noon off with it. Hanzomain dropping the dragon as well, didn't quite see it hit the field, but with that, Ray Dragons continue to hold, they're still looking good.
Yeah, they look really good. That is the result of Renomne just kind of is like buying time, lead them on the goose chase, and then Sharky comes in, I'm going to press my shatter button, thank you, and gets a massive shatter and wins in the fight.
Yeah, now we're seeing this high ground be up for contest. Ray Dragons trying to really put pressure on that hallway. This is where Renomne's character is gonna really stand the test. They're able to just funnel so much damage to that hallway with those Junkrat pills already almost up to another tire. It looks like BoomerSquad are gonna defer to the low ground now. And they're gonna push up on Renomnes, who has that mind to get away. But Ruby taken out early. That Zarya perhaps playing a little too far up. They may want that back in hindsight, but Ray Dragons continues to win, gets swung on, Sharky does, by Lotu, but Lotu's gonna maybe be able to get away. Not if Inoki has anything to say about it. Now the Mei coming out, Real Jaeger not able to last long enough either, and Inoki looking like a sharpshooter right now.
Yeah, Noki's looked really good since they've come into the series. Of course, wasn't playing in Map 1 Night Husky, was of course the DPS player. They kind of struggled on the Zhong Garden in particular, but Noki's looked really strong in the McCree, and they need to find an answer from BoomerSquad to try and deal with it.
Yeah, smartly learning from last push. It looks like BoomerSquad not going to be opting through that high ground push. They're instead going to be going through the bottom and finding a Niki off the back end. The Earth Shatter coming in from behind, but it's blocked by the Zarya Sidobata. Able to get that bubble up just in time. The High Noon and Ty are going to be cleaning up 2-1 apiece, and the Reinhardt dangerously close to death. Sharky has to be playing very carefully. She keeps her shield up, manages to stay alive, and the defense holds.
Yeah, Sharky and Inoki are kind of carrying this last map so far. Hanzomain's going to get staggered, trying to get picked from behind. However, they have got this Graviton Surge and Blizzard combination that they have used before to win some fights, so be interesting to see if they opt for that combination again just to get to the end of the game.
Certainly have to find out. The Junkrat trap trying to be set up now, and it is looking towards those last fleeting moments. Ruby does have the grab. We'll see if they can line it up again. The bottom ground, or the lower ground push coming through here. Ruby fires the grab, doesn't seem to find too much, does get the Reinhardt trapped. Inoki manages to take out Ruby, though. She's going to be regretting that decision perhaps here in just a little minute, in just a little bit. And with that, kills coming through for BoomerSquad. A few do drop for them, Hanzomain and Lotu most notably, but the Real Jaeger going to be picking up the slack on that DPS as well. They don't care that they have a maid. They're going to send Icicles in anyway.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a more compromising Graviton Surge Blizzard combination, but they do get it off. They do win the fight, but it looks like they're going to try and rake attack here, right, Dragons? I think I see some people come. Well, members coming and said, here comes the Lucia.
Yeah, and it's going to be the battle coming in. Hanzomain going to be dropping dragons right through the middle of the field. BoomerSquad using that to try to maneuver their way onto the point. It's going to be Sharky getting frozen. She's going to get dropped down real quick, and with that, BoomerSquad continues to keep this cart moving. They're going to have some time and a second breath of life on third.
Yeah, however, they already have a minute 20 left on their time bank, meaning that they're already a minute at least behind the time bank that BoomerSquad have finished up. However, on the Tesco game, if you can just finish up, you'll be fine. There's a good pick to try and help them finish up this. Mariones goes down to Hanzomain, but they have no ultimates available. Lotu's going to have to hit something big if they're going to finish this map.
They certainly will. Time Bank is going to be wearing down a lot of ults on the opposing side. Scouting Arrow trying to come out, and the Sharky getting dangerously arrogant here, walled off, goes for the Earth Shatter, misses it completely. She's going to get punished for that, and with this, BoomerSquad pushing heavily forward, and now it looks like the Junkrat Tower is going to come in. Renomne is trying to make something happen, once again gets two. Renomne seems to get reliable value with that Junkrat Tower, continues dropping the pills, drops right onto cart, and does get the exchange. Lilinet going to be dropped as well. And with this, the McCree High Noon trying to find something. Lotu drops their shield from a counter pin, but doesn't get focused down by Inoki's High Noon. With that, Ray Dragons managed to keep the cart held here at this turn.
Yeah, and they also kept their Graviton Surge and Sound Barrier and Coalescence online. I didn't even see the Coalescence when I was going for the ultimate, so that's probably why that sounded a little bit weak for me. But Hanzomain gets the kill, and that might help BoomerSquad getting open again.
Yeah, Hanzoman gonna be using those dragons to bisect the cart a little bit, but Ascarius gonna be taken down by them, so it finds a little bit more value than you might expect. The Blizzard catching out Cidabato, and with that, it looks like this is gonna be a wipe for the side of Rage Dragons. They're gonna have to regroup here, try to get one more defensive hold, although the numbers are still looking good for them in terms of time bank. Renomnis on what we call fidget spinner, trying to get that damage with those Junkrat pills. Not quite able to, just has to back up, and now the regroup and contest is coming in. Lodu takes down Ascarius before the team can really get there to back them up, and with this, it's not looking great for the side of Rage Dragon. We're seeing these stall heroes come out, Winston, as well as that Roadhog trying to just make something happen, but the May Freeze is so oppressive. Daryl Jaeger able to hold this point, the grab coming in. That's going to be the third point, give it over to BoomerSquad.
Yeah, Rage Dragon made a multitude of mistakes on their defense. They didn't get enough value out of the Graviton Surge in that last fight, and they didn't even use the Soundbar that they had online or the Riptire in that last fight. They had two ultimates that they just didn't even bother using, which probably would have swayed the fight in their favor. So a huge mistake from Rage Dragons there. But we have to credit Lochu, and Hanzoman, who both made individual plays in that last fight to give them the victory. Hanzoman got a 5k in that sort of fight before that huge pick on Ascarius, meaning that the Soundbar could not come out. So poor play from the defense, good play from the offense in those last two fights. However, the time bank advantage is firmly in favor of Rage Dragon.
Yeah, this does not mean it's out of the field quite yet for BoomerSquad. They do still have the opportunity here. They're going to be on the attack first, as they do have the lower time bank. And it looks like they may be hinting at a little bit of a pharmacy combo here, which, if you're analyzing, the side of Rage Dragon's team right now, they don't seem to want to play a whole lot of hit scan. Inoki, I think, really good on that McCree, but seeing that, they were playing Genji, I believe, the first attack, you might be a little bit more comfortable on this.
Yeah, Inoki did list Genji as their most comfortable hero, but we'll see if they have to go over to the McCree in response to Jaeger's far. Going for some high damage early on, let's see what happens.
Yeah, looking to just focus out Inoki. Daryl Jaeger tries to go for the concussive blast off the high ground, but it doesn't manage to find its purchase. Aniki has to take a knee and retreat as they do get brought down dangerously low by Pharah. And it's actually going to be Inoki getting the first kill on the Hanzoman. That's Shimada Brother chooses to be victorious here. And Mercy going for the res, going to be able to get it. Lilinet able to bring Hanzoman back into the fray. No problems, no questions asked. Renom is dangerously low, gets burned down once again. Ruby going to be finding it with the Zarya beam. And now it's going to be Inoki trying to pester Lilinet on that Mercy, but gets supported and able to get out for the time being. Once again, does find Hanzoman, though. It really seems to be a thorn in the side of Hanzo. Going to be switching on a Tracer because of that. Time bank is ticking down, but it will be the contest coming through from BoomerSquad. Daryl Jaeger just in this sky, unable to be contested, really so close to another rocket barrage, or to a rocket barrage, I should say. Gotta be getting it, and it looks like first point's gonna be going over to BoomerSquad.
Yeah, Inoki staying on the Genji is able to build up the Dragon Blade, but other than that, not getting too much value. Renomnis also not getting too much value on the Junkrats. I think they're going to have to switch up their DPS picks here as the barrage has been built up. But I would like to bring attention to BoomerSquad when they're on this more simple tank line, though. Ryan, Zarya, Ruby, and Lotu look really good on that competition.
Yeah, I have to certainly agree. Daryl Jaeger once again going to be looking like they're just concussion blasting the members of Rage Dragons off the high ground. Inoki dangerously out of position, has to recover, can't recover fast enough. Jaeger going to take them down with a simple shot of the rocket launcher. Daryl Jaeger takes down Sharky. She will not be rezzed. No mercy on the side of Rage Dragons. And with this, Daryl Jaeger pushing up with that Pharah, taking to the skies of Junkertown. There might be small alleyways, but there is a rather tall sky box. And with this, it doesn't look like Rage Dragons are able to really put any pressure on the cart. They're getting this progress basically for free.
Yeah, the Graviton Surge and Dragon Blade combo is online. Can they bring it out? The Dragon Blade has come out from Inoki a little bit prematurely. Here comes the Graviton Surge, though. Are they going to get full volume?
We'll have to certainly find out. Hanzoman getting hit with the nano boost as they are in the grab. Not going to be able to find too much, but the Earth Shatter might switch things up. Sharky trying to make it happen, cannot. The Graviton coming in from Ruby locks everybody down, helps secure these kills. BoomerSquad looking so good right now, despite having the shorter time bank at the 5th point.
Yeah, BoomerSquad just getting more value out of their ultimates and actually using a couple more ultimates than Riot Dragons did. Riot Dragons didn't really get anything out of the Graviton Surge or the Dragon Blade combination that they tried to use and kind of screwed up a little bit. Noki's going to go one of them McCree to try and check Jaeger on the fire, but Jaeger's almost up to another barrage. It's going to be very difficult for Noki to get anything here.
It certainly will, and we're looking ahead. Real Jaeger trying to play around that fidget spinner area, not able to find too much value. But Inoki with the quick 3-tap, able to just pull them from the sky. Hits Tracer with a flashbang. Lil Net brings up their Pharah counterpart, but the Junkrat Tire able to take him down, plucks him out of mid-air. And with that, it looks like Ray Dragons might have this fight won, and it's all they need. That overtime clock's gonna burn down. Round 3 complete, held at third point.
Yeah, but they do get around the third point corner, like the very first corner on third point where the spawns come in for the offense, which is really difficult to get through as the offense. So very impressive for the offense to get that far. Joker time with just a minute. However, 3 minutes 19 on the timeline for Riot Dragons means they can kind of set up for a steamroll. They can kind of set up, this first couple of fights could just be set up for them to get out of ultimates and then just go. Use 2 ultimates to fight, build another 2 ultimates, and kind of cycle their ultimates to a point where they can dominate the rest of this map. But we'll see if that happens. Also want to draw attention to Inoki. Inoki, when they're on the McCree, looks very, very clean and able to win the hit scan versus for a duel. However, on the Genji, wasn't able to get much done, even though it is their preferred hero. So we'll see if Inoki has to play the McCree here.
Yeah, I have to agree. Inoki looked really anemic on that Genji. I mean, they got the kill on the Hanzo main a few times, but they just weren't able to do it quickly enough to allow their team any capitalization. Real Jaeger, though, again, lining up with the Torbjorn, I gotta like it. I'm legally and contractually obligated to like when a Torbjorn comes out onto the field.
Wait, you got that in your contract? You have to like Torbjorn?
Yes.
Yeah, I got break. So
okay.
That is better end of the deal there.
But a quick fight coming out from both teams, and it's looking like BoomerSquad going to be trying to go for a very aggressive hold here, and it's succeeding. Inoki taking it down that McCree, not able to be in the fight. Hanzo main getting the flashbang, not able to clean up, however. Renomniz is going to be walking away. This Mercy, oh no, stuck in the corner. You hate to see it. You never want to be a support main stuck in a back alley against the DPS.
Yeah, not ideal for so that definitely not what you want. However, a quick and explosive fight win for that offense. However, a little bit of time off the clock. Already about 40 seconds wasted from that early spawn hold. So I do think it was a bit of an educated decision from BoomerSquad.
Yeah, certainly have to agree here. It looks like the swap's going to be coming out. Real Jaeger actually might be opting into that Widow. The halt onto Renomniz, holding them down but not getting the kill onto them. Just going to be making them a little bit more uncomfortable. Inoki going to be taken down low too, but traded by Hanzo main on that McCree of their own. The Rez able to come through Ascarius, not put under too much threat of the opposing team. Able to use, it looks like the outhouse for some sort of cover. The High Noon coming out, Hanzo main taken down by Renomniz as that High Noon is in effect. Looks like first point is wrapped up, no last minute contest. In fact, it will be a last minute contest coming in from the Moira. Lilinet going to be giving their life for just a few moments burned off the clock, and 2 minutes now still after first point capped.
Yeah, there's no ultimates online for that defense either, apart from the Gravitic Flux. However, on the offense, Jesus, look at the invites coming online. 4 ultimates, Valkyrie, Nano Boost, Barrage, and Deadeye, all coming online for the offense. It's going to be really difficult for BoomerSquad to hold here on point B.
Yeah, certainly it's going to be due to a lot of those swaps early on, and Ray Dragon's going to be holding, and Renomniz is going to be taken down by a Widow shot. This is perhaps what the real Jaeger needed to do on first point, but a big accretion onto Ruby. She's going to get knocked out of the sky, followed up by Sidabato, looking for that damage. Lotu has that High Noon, has locked on to, Inoki locked onto Lotu. Gonna be trying to find that damage, doesn't find it. Unsuccessful, however, although the quick left clicks coming in. Real Jaeger, though, put in some work, lifting a little bit as Widowmaker, finding those headshots, having to relocate. And it looks like Sharky went for the grab of Flux. Yes, it was Sharky who went for the grab Flux. I believe they were brought out of it by a flashbang. And it looks like the offense is trying here. But they're not going to be held back too much, or they're not going to be too successful in that.
Yeah, they look really good on the offense to win that fight. They cancelled Ruby's Gravitic Flux, however, then the Amplification Matrix combined with Daryl Jaeger's prospecting Widowmaker angles allowed them to kill both the Pharah and the Mercy to win the fight. However, Valkyrie, Barrage, and Nana was still in line for that offense. It'd be really, really difficult for the defense to hold on.
Oh, but the High Noon coming out quick from Hanzo Main, realizes Renomniz is in the backline, pops it, and right after those boosters go online, they can't take themselves out any faster, and with that, BoomerSquad gets themselves another free fight. The contest does come through, but BoomerSquad has massive numbers advantage. They need to clean up this fight before the reinforcements come in. Shouldn't be a problem. Real Jaeger on this Widow, trying to make something happen, trying to hit this Mercy. He's gonna take the ultimate disrespect as Mercy pulls out her pistol and gets ready for the hurt. Renomniz hit with an anti-nade as that barrage comes through. Low2 dangerously low, but gets healed up by their supports. The massive damage coming in. And now, all of a sudden, Ray Dragons look like they're on the front foot. They're able to lean in a little bit, and with this, the cart continues to make progress, and they take that despite an early 2 loss.
Yeah, BoomerSquad looked like they won that fight after a fantastic heads-up play from Hanzoman to use the Deadeye on the Pharmacy that was threatening the backline. Huge play from him. However, they unable to clean the fight up, and then the lack of ultimates they have compared to Dragons eventually comes to bite them in the butt a little bit, and they were able to get through point B, and now we have a crazy last fight scenario here on point C.
We certainly do. The Real Jaeger are going to be using those infra sights, having line of sight, a direct sight rather, on Renomniz. Able to pluck that far out of this guy if she shows herself. We're seeing some good disciplined LOS play from Renomniz, at least for a minute. Takes a dangerous peek, but the first kill goes to Ascarius, taken down by Hanzo Main. With this, things are looking a little bit even as Hanzo Main gets swung out of existence by Sharky. So right now these teams looking very even. The grab Flux, however, in from Ruby, might use it to get a Sig 9 on the field. In fact, will be given the attempt. Overtime doesn't burn down Sig 9, not successful. Sharky brought dangerously low though. Gonna be getting the nano boost, pushing forward. Inoki not gonna be having the nano boost invested onto them with the Genji blade. Focusing down that support, able to take down Rumsky and Lilinet. There is no healing left. To Real Jaeger, has to get on point. Doesn't, and it looks like Ray Dragons are gonna take it.
Yeah, huge fight turnaround from Aniki in particular on the Ana. So the Hulk Flux combo, which was very nice from the tank slide on BoomerSquad, comes through. However, Aniki keeps everyone who's in that Gravitic Flux up through the rest of that fight, and they used the nano boost onto, I believe they used it on the Sharky, keep her alive through the rest of that fight. And Oki with the Dragon Blade cleans up the fight to give Ray Dragons Junker Time on their map choice. Yes, I was wrong in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of come down, you know, again, this is another full circle, so I guess that's a full figure 8, but whatever you're comfortable with, sometimes that's just what makes the difference here. And, you know, Ray Dragon's going to be walking away pretty happy from this, but it's now just being tied at 1-1. They're certainly not out of the rain yet. They're going to have to work a little bit harder now knowing that BoomerSquad have map pick on their side.
Yeah, of course, we are going to be going to a hybrid game mode, so that is Kings Row, Blizzard World, or Hollywood as our map choices. We saw Hollywood earlier, and actually, we saw BoomerSquad list Hollywood as their preferred map choice for this kind of type in hybrid, so I guess that's probably what we're going to see, so it'll be interesting to see if they do go for their preferred map choice, or make any subs, because of course, they did make some subs in between the map they won and the map they lost.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that oftentimes gets overlooked when you talk about, you know, oh, this is just this team's map preference is, you know, what players are able to play. Sometimes subs are based on maps, but, you know, especially in, you know, lower tier scenes where sometimes a person just has to go away. Sometimes they have like a job that they have to get ready for, or they have to take their grandmother to the market or something like that, where they just can't play anymore. So you have to bring in a sub, and that sub's only good on, you know, Gibraltar and Nepal or something like that. It looks like the opt-in is going to be for Hollywood coming from BoomerSquad, which, you know, we've seen Hollywood already today. I look forward to seeing even more on it. I'm going to say this, and it's not going to happen because I'm saying it, but I'm hoping Jaeger comes out on Torb on defense.
It's gonna happen. It's gotta happen. I know it says in your contract that you got to talk about Torbjorn, but I'm gonna talk about Brigitte then because that's what it says in my contract. You know, Brigitte, Brigitte is the main support of choice at the higher levels of play. We've just been seeing a little bit more Mercy or Brigitte, Mercy or Ana today. So it'll be interesting to see if we actually see the Brigitte come into effect in this lower tier match, as we did see her in the higher tier game, where Brigitte had the biggest impact I've seen in a series in a long time, in particular. So they were able to win because of Brigitte. We'll see if that happens again later on. Just got to keep mentioning the name Brigitte, and then I'll get paid more, right? That's how that works.
Yeah, you get commissions based on the number of Brigittas said. But final note before we get about ready here into Hollywood, it looks like DJ Zylstra is going to be coming in as a substitute for BoomerSquad, and I'm just happy I nailed that name.
Yeah, DJ Zylstra is back in the lineup as they were in El Nishon, so it's going to be interesting to see if that has a repetitive impact if they win again with DJ Zylstra in the lineup. Rubsky will stay in, Alana will sell out, so a different support line again for the third time in the series, and we've had 3 maps, so a different support lineup for each map for the BoomerSquad.
And you always got to keep them guessing is my motto in life. You never let them predict what's going to happen next. And you can catch them, they're assuming you're going to do the tango, and then you hit them with a waltz, and they're entirely off balance. Hopefully, BoomerSquad tried to make that happen with Ray Dragons. It didn't quite work so well on Junkertown, but maybe this is the secret sauce that they need for Hollywood.
That's your life motto?
Yes.
Really?
No, not really. Not at all.
Oh, okay, never mind. I do like the analogy, instead of passing out tango, you post out the waltz. That's definitely a bit different. And Ray Dragons, they waltzed their way to victory last map, so let's see if they can do it again.
Certainly. Now, I want to talk about what was perhaps what I thought going to be one of the weakest components of the Ray Dragons. I'm curious if you think Inoki keeps running on the Genji or the McCree, because we've seen them. We've seen Inoki run both. We've seen both of them to varying levels of degree. To varying degrees of effectiveness. It feels. So what do you think is the option for Hollywood, and do you think they run it?
Just play McCree. I mean, Genji is not very strong in Overwatch right now, and Inoki struggled to get value out of the Genji, although it's your preferred hero. Just run the McCree. You're good at the McCree. Pulls off on the McCree in multiple fights. Was able to derail Jaeger in that decisive fight on point C. So go for the McCree. You're good at the McCree. Run it. But it looks like they're going to opt for the Genji.
Well, a little bit of a shame there. And also a little bit of a shame that Jaeger is not going to be on that Torb, instead opting for the Echo. And that's, not unpredictable to me. Like, I see there is value in running an Echo there. But a little surprised that they would opt into it. It just doesn't seem to necessarily be, from what we've seen, the most immediate comfortable pick for Jaeger.
Yeah, another interesting note is Ruby and Lochi going back over to the double shield competition, which they looked okay on at times, but I would like to see them simplify it down and just go back to that Ryanzari competition and that's so good.
Yeah, certainly have to agree. Ironically, they ran the competition on the map they lost, I believe. I don't recall if they ran it on Dijon. But either way, as we get moving into Hollywood, this first point, Renomna is going to be trying to get the concussion blast off the high ground, does successfully get it, but gets punished. Hanzo Main going to be bringing them down. Latu now going to be taken down as well. Inoki on that Genji. Inoki must have heard us talking about them on Genji, because they are absolutely going heavy in there. The dash coming in, trying to find something to deflect as well. And Daryl Jaeger really trying to put in this damage with this Echo, going to be finding it, and now BoomerSquad seems to be in a very good position here as this first hold goes all their way.
Yeah, one thing I want to know is the different Vegeta playstyle we've seen throughout the different tiers. In the expert tier earlier, we saw the Vegeta play the more optimal type of Vegeta, where you're armor packing your DPS, you're armor packing your squishy so that they can't go down, you have a little bit more sustainability. But here you're seeing a lot of the resources go onto the tank line, and you're kind of running this, like, indestructible tank line. You cannot kill this tank line. They have 800 health. And I kind of like that, especially for the lower tier.
Yeah, certainly have to agree. Nanabu's going to be going out to Inoki. Doesn't have the Genji blade, though. May have been a bit preemptive. He's going to be pulling it out in the last moment, but Member's already dead, and Inoki going to be taken down. Some poor team coordination, it seemed there.
Yeah, they go for the nano blade and don't get any value out of it. And here comes the Echo. Our Shadow is just on the floor. I'm not exactly sure what the target was for that, but the nano blade combination not getting any value again. Renomna is going over to their favorite Junkrat, but I feel like Inoki has to get up against it here. It's getting 2R countered and not well enough supported by. He seemed to get the value out of it.
We'll have to see if they can make it happen, or else if the switch does come through, this damage is going to be peppered in. Ruby with a big block, getting some massive value from that Sigma deployable shield. Inoki trying to deflect, but you can't deflect the laser beam, you can't deflect Dynamite, you can't deflect Zarya's beam. With that, the damage comes through. BoomerSquad able to maintain, and they're looking so far through the first half of this defense.
Yeah, BoomerSquad looks so comfortable on this Hollywood map. Their rotations look good. Ruby had a really good Shatter block there with the Sigma shield, so that was pretty impressive. However, Cidapato has the key ultimate next fight, the Graviton Surge. Nothing really on the other side to counter it, and that's Rums gets the rally, so it'll be interesting to see if that Graviton Surge has the value it should have.
We will certainly find out. Also going to have that sound barrier online. Not sure if it's going to be necessary quite yet. The sound barrier going to be coming out for the offense. They're going to preemptively go into it. Inoki brought dangerously low, but now the grab's going to be answered with, and it doesn't matter, DJ Drillsta is going to be dropping the coalescence, keeping everybody alive and burning down Cidabato. Overall, BoomerSquad standing firm.
Yeah, BoomerSquad looked really good. They counteracted the Graviton Surge perfectly with both the support ultimates. Ideally, yes, you don't want to use both the support ultimates, but it was necessary in that occasion. Huntsman was able to hold the high ground and get a lot of damage in on the Ashe. But I actually want to put out Lochu's holds. 2 holds that got severe value. One for the Gravitic Floods and one to force out the sound barrier out of Ascarius. So, perfect ult usage from Lochu on you.
So we can't disagree. The Sticky Mines, or Sticky Bombs, going to be going on to Cidabato. That Zarya, however, not having that personal shield, will just be eating that damage. Able to get healed back up, though. The Riptire coming out lands on 2. Renumnus always seems to get multi-kills with that tire, and now it looks like the offense might finally have a chance here. They have to invest a lot of ults. Sharky dangerously low, but she's able to get healed back up by her supports, and with that, it's going to be possession of the point going over.
Yeah, so they do manage to eventually take points out with just using all of their ultimate abilities. They used everything but the sound barrier and Graviton Surge that fight, so they used 4 ultimates, which does lead on to point B, leaning a little bit more for the side of BoomerSquad. They also get a pick under Renumbness, which isn't going to help the offense at all. It looks like they're going to take a little bit of an aggressive hold with Ruby on the team.
Yeah, and Hanzo Main getting taken down by Inoki means that Bob will no longer be in the fight. The real Jaeger as well taken. The teeth have been pulled from this defense. Now it's just going to be the tank to try to make some space. But right now, all we're doing is just hemorrhaging it. Latu brought dangerously low, but the Halt able to peel back for the rest of them. A big accretion going on to Sharky. Sharky gets stunned for just a brief moment, and now we're seeing the defense start to build up some ultimates here. Will they utilize any of them? Hanzo Main taking down Inoki means they may not have to, as those early number advantages are in their favor. Ruby instead opting for the safe route, going to be going with the grab Flux. Hanzo Main taking down Renumnus on that Junkrat. The burst damage no longer an issue as well. The real Jaeger landing a little bit of a flick shot onto Ascarius, taking them down. The focusing beam going to be coming up and completing the few remaining, but Moira says, I have a laser as well. This one heals and hurts. And with that, they're going to be using it just to back up, regroup themselves. But BoomerSquad still looking very good on the defense, despite a few kills coming in from Ray Dragons.
Yeah, Ray Dragons did get a couple of kills there again, so they could go now and get a little bit of an advantage in this next fight. However, Hanzo Main has the buff and Rumsky has the rally as 2 critical ultimates in the composition for the defense online to try and keep them on.
Yeah, the Bob's going to be initiating. Hanzo Main going to be throwing it in. But it's going to be Sharky just walking past the Orisa shield and shattering, getting 3. The cleanup not quite able to be there, though. With that, Ray Dragons are taking their losses. They're going to be licking their wounds and maybe going home. Except it looks like nobody told Renumnus as he gets halted back. Tries to jump trap his way out. Can't quite make it happen, though.
Yeah, however, the offense manages to keep 3 ultimates online. However, the defense also has ultimates online in the duplicate and the Supercharger. And an interesting fact about Supercharger is in Overwatch League Season 2, the Supercharger had the best teamfight win rate out of any ultimate in the game. So let's say Lochu uses the Supercharger to its full effect.
Yeah, Noki going to be dropping that Dragon Blade, getting 1. Chasing down the Moira, gets hung up just a little bit. DJ gonna be brought down. They are no longer for this world. The Riptire as well. This is just classic Ray Dragons. Invest a lot of ultimates and get a lot of value. Inoki chasing down the Sigma with a little help from Ascarius on that Lucio. And now it looks like something trying to just shake up here from Jaeger. Not able to find it though, as the 2 just gets swung on by Sharky. Sharky able to just deal that damage with the hammer. Cidabato has that grab. If they really get a last team contest, it is overtime, but nobody able to contest. Ray Dragons get that second point.
Yeah, they make the decision again just to try and hold point C. And they use a lot of ultimates in the last 2 fights that have in the squad. I don't have anything really to contest this next fight. Cidabato with the Graviton Surge and Aniki with the Colorado is just with the fight.
A really good Sharky taking an accretion stun. Gonna be brought out of the fight for just a moment, but it's not gonna be up to the BoomerSquad to really push in there and get some damage. Instead, they're really trying to burn down Ruby's shield. She's gonna be going for the grab flux. Can she find it? Doesn't get stunned out, means she's gonna be getting the drop, but not too much happening with it. Latu getting dangerously low. That Moira Coalescence able to just focus down any weak targets as well. Allow Inoki to get right into the face. DJ Zelstra so close to that health back, able to get it. Doesn't get away though, and Inoki chases them down, able to just throw those shurikens into the back of their dome.
Yeah, DJ Zilch are getting Zilch volley out of that health pack. Zilch is another word for zero over in Northern Ireland over here. But here comes Cidabato trying to get the kill on the Ruby. Doesn't quite get it, but does have the Graviton Surge online. The Doom Fist trying to get some volley, but I don't think it's going to get it because Inoki powers through with the 3-man Dragon Blade.
Yeah, Inoki going absolutely Largo with that. The celebration grab as well as just a lockdown grab, trying to hold that spawn. It's gonna be Ray Dragons getting that cart delivered, getting that VP to the studio.
Yeah, Inoki's kind of be blessed by us because usually when you're praising someone and it just doesn't happen and we call it the caster curse, he's kind of getting blessed. He's getting caster blessing. We kind of been talking a little bit of smack about it there, Genji, but now they're popping off in this map of Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm liking the turnaround we're seeing from Inoki, and I'm not gonna absolutely put all my eggs in the basket of it's Inoki performing really well on Genji. I'm just gonna say that at least this team knows how Inoki plays on Genji, and they're able to complement that to an acceptable degree in this fight. I think when you talk about, Sharky likes to get really aggressive, well, it makes sense when you have a Genji main on your team who is a little bit heavy-handed with the Swift Strikes, who gets a little bit tunnel focused. You have a Reinhardt who's equally matched with them, and suddenly the team feels like they can all rush in.
Yeah, I like it. It's just kind of an adrenaline rush. Oh, Sharky's feeding. You know what? I'll feed too. Let's go. Let's all jump in. Let's have a bit of fun. And that's kind of what they're doing. And it's working out for them, to be fair. And I also feel like BoomerSquad are quite a solidified rookie team. They look really solidified on point A here. But as soon as something goes wrong on point A, they kind of just split off, do their own thing. The shot calling seems a little bit wrong. So definitely mistakes seem to be being made after something goes a little bit wrong. Rumsky's breaks look really, really solid and then kind of split apart later on, kind of like a change of identity that wasn't meant to happen. It looks like we're going to see a break and Torb again on the defense, so good for our contracts.
Yes, very good. We're going to be making a lot of commissions here as that Torb does come out. We're going to see this hold on the Cafe. Inoki trying to really put that pressure on to the Pharah and able to get the damage into where Anonymous' turret can really focus them down to Real Jaeger. Going to be invested in on that res from Rumsky, and a sleep onto Inoki allows them to get cleaned up by the Real Jaeger. Easy to land those cluster mines when your target is pretty much laying still. Lotu taking down Cidabato on that Zarya. As we've seen these Zaryas be absolutely crucial and critical in these fights. Once again, delivery. Cidabato again burning down a Rumsky with that giant, massive laser of, death, energy, flame. Whatever it's made of, it's certainly seeming to get the job done to Real Jaeger. Not able to get away, and who else but Cidabato at this point?
Yeah, Cidabato is incredibly clean on the Zarya, and I believe Zarya's thing is made out of gravitic particles. So that is what you're kind of looking at. That's how the particle barriers that Zarya uses to help her teammates are created.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and going to be looking to create a few more as this next fight gets proceeding. Cidabato taking a front line, leaning into this corner. Going to be giving their shield up to Sharky, who takes a bit of damage, but able to get healed up the rotation. Not able to come through quick enough from BoomerSquad. Cidabato dangerously close to that grab, so it's going to be keeping an eye out. Inoki has to be very careful in this media room as Hanzo Main does have it locked down. Hanzo Main taking some damage from the Torbjorn turret, has to back up. Renomnis not getting too much damage done, but the grab coming in means that now it's going to be a little bit of a bloodbath. Sharky goes for the Earth Shatter as well. Not sure it was necessary on top of Coalescence, but better safe than sorry in some instances, and it looks like Ray Dragons decide this to be one.
Yeah, Ray Dragons decisively winning that fight based off the Graviton Surge, Earth Shatter, and the Coalescence. And there's still a couple ultimates online, Rally and Deadeye, which are both very strong ultimates. However, you're coming into a Nano low tree, or you're coming against a Nano boosted low tree, probably. And Rumsky is not so sure if we'll see or try and speed boost that Reinhardt around.
We'll see how this fight carries on. The Torbjorn turret going down early. Hanzomain lining up the easy headshot as Inoki's in that high noon. The bubble onto low 2 allows them to get a lot of damage in, especially as they are nanoed. Sharky getting a big pin onto Ruby and DJ Zylstra. They are going to be out of this fight. The real Jaeger taking down Renomnus' turret with a bomb. Probably not the best utilization of his resources, but you get something for nothing, I guess. Renomnus is going to be taking down low 2 and Sharky, meaning there's no Reinhardts in this fight at all. Hanzomain putting their skills to the test and failing as Cidabato focuses them down with that primary fire. And with this, it's just one member left on the offense. They're going to be falling on first point here.
Yeah, they do have the Graviton Surge plus Dragon Strike combination for the next fight. However, Coalescence could be an option to try and keep everyone healed up, and Cidabato almost has a Graviton Surge of his own, so it's going to be interesting to see the battle of the Graviton Surges in this last minute of play here on Hollywood.
Yeah, the Graviton Surge as well as the Molten Core might be a powerful combo that we have to keep an eye out for. Low 2, brought dangerously low, has to keep his shield up, otherwise if he drops, it's an easy Earth Shatter. Hanzomain gets brought to their knees, not quite able to get focused down, and instead it will be Sharky who gets dropped. The grab arrow coming in, Hanzomain able to clean up off the back of it. It looks like that's what BoomerSquad have been waiting for. They're going to succeed. Aniki dropping that Coalescence, a little bit questionable, but they're going to be investing it one way or another. The point going to be ticking down, and BoomerSquad takes it.
Yeah, BoomerSquad, they just had the Graviton Surge and Dragon Strike combination online. There was nothing really that the defense could do about it. They did have other ultimates that they wanted to play a little bit more aggressive, and that's what Sharky did. Sharky, in fairness, took the decision. They've got this combination. We have to win the fight ourselves. Went for the Earth Shatter, didn't get too much value out of it, and Renomnus is picked off. So it looks like BoomerSquad are going to have a little bit of leeway here on this offense.
Yeah, Bob's going to be buying even more leeway as Cidabato going to be trying to face tank that Bob damage coming in. Sharky taken down by their opponent in low 2, but it's not going to be enough for the defense here to just get away. They're going to get picked clean. Cidabato getting burned alive by that dynamite damage. Yeah,
one thing I like for both of these teams, and it's a little bit not in the moment to say these things, but I feel like I like one thing from either team. It looks like BoomerSquad have like a more solidified, group team ethic, where they're running these really difficult compositions that are better for the maps and require a lot of teamwork and communication. But I like the identity that we see on the other side. That's a really nice headshot from Guerrilla. I like the identity we see from this Red Dragon side of just Sharky plays aggressive, Inoki plays aggressive, and kill things.
Yeah, speaking of killing things, just a big shatter coming through from a low 2. Going to be able to clean up off the back end of it. And suddenly things are looking pretty even between these two teams.
Yeah, especially after Jumpers time, we were kind of expecting a really even match, especially because Inoki came into the fight. Inoki going down there, as Hanzomain picks up that kill onto that early spot, and it looks like there's one more. Are they going to find Renomnus? No, they're not. Renomnus is going to sneak around the back and on that Sworder, and they haven't caught him yet, and also the Brigitte trying to get out of here of Ascarius.
Spoke just a little too early as Renomnus does fall with that Molten Core in pocket. However, it will be Ascarius able to get away, able to succeed. The real Jaeger look like they might be opting to take into some of this high ground area, provide a little bit of vertical pressure as well. BoomerSquad really trying to play multiple angles as we see Ruby taking this side pocket with the, I believe it's a Mega. And with that, looking to line up a grab as the rally, the rally is popped by Ascarius. And once again, the grab dragon combo coming in. Hanzomain taken down 2, no tanking capabilities here. Now for the Rage Dragons, it will be the Molten Core that's popped out though. And it's going to be very questionable. Low 2 can't back up too much, but they don't need to. Not a lot of value from Renomnus on that Torbjorn. You hate to see it, especially if you're Renomnus, as you get buried 6 feet under by a Reinhardt hammer. And now the last few moments of contest, and what else are they going to pull out but a Inoki on the Genji? You like to see it. The bomb going to be coming out. Real Jaeger throwing down an Earth Shatter, not finding anything though. Doesn't really matter as they continue to get this point.
Yeah, massive. It's going to be like steamroll from BoomerSquad. As soon as they got point out, they just rolled for the rest of the match. Used their ultimate sensibly. That Graviton Surge and Dragon Strike combination winning the multiple fights. Ruby and Hanzomain having a lot of good communication there. So definitely want to look at those two players combining other things later on in this series. But as I was saying earlier, Rage Dragons look really good when they're playing their identity. And I like the fact they have an identity as a team so low. Usually you don't see that with teams who are lower ranked. And they have this identity of having Sharky make space and hoping their DPS pop off for Renomnus or Inoki, and they're just playing aggressive. And Cidabato is kind of like the silent assassin when they're having an Oki Renomnus and Sharky plays so aggressively and creates space, and so Cidabato is allowed to like have this highly charged Zarya energy because they're playing so aggressive and getting shot all the time, and then he's allowed to do so much damage on the Zarya. So I do like the fact they have that identity. However, at points they look very not solidated and just kind of fall apart. They're kind of like a paper and water. It just kind of like falls apart. However, sometimes they're just a nice, strong brick in water where they just kind of float and do what they want to do. And that's the weirdest analogy I think I've done. Actually, I know for a fact it isn't, but we're going to go with it. However, BoomerSquad look more solidified, look like they have better communication and better calling, and it looks like that might take them to a victory here in Hollywood.
We will see if that paper holds true. Ray Dragons on the attack now. They're going to be pushing up, looking to get that early damage, and Daryl Jaeger on that Torbjorn. We didn't get a chance to mention it, but there it is, sure enough, trying to build up some ultimates. Shark getting brought dangerously low, going for that fire strike, but she gets punished for it almost immediately. Dangerously low, focused down to Daryl Jaeger, able to nail him with that Torbjorn, no pun intended. And BoomerSquad able to continue this damage and the pain moving forward. They're going to hold Time Bank ticks down.
Yeah, Sharky playing a little bit different to her normal playstyle and kind of just getting caught wide out in the open. And then this long sight line that Jaeger and Hunterman have just puts a lot of pressure. There's a late stagger under Anonymous, which won't help either. So kind of just gets caught into mindsets and then gets picked off for it. And that's good. Heals to try and keep Ruby up. Doesn't really work out. It looks like they're just going to take it off the bat.
Yeah, BoomerSquad playing a little bit on the back end here. Hanzo dangerously low, gets killed by a right click from Cidabato. The Coalescence coming in just to help secure this fight. Aniki probably not going to be regretting that in the end. You do what you have to secure the point, and it looks like that's exactly what Red Dragons did.
Yeah, they were already 1-up going into that fight, and their tank line of Lotu and Ruby kind of overextended. Sharky punishes it really well, to be fair to her, and they were able to take that fight on point. And Hunterman again getting a late kill. Under Anonymous, they have a 65 advantage that they need to take.
Yeah, they will be going for it. The Earth Shatter in from Lotu. Will they be opting for it? They'll have to find the opening. Sharky going to be giving them the opportunity, though. The counter Shatter coming in late on 5. Everybody but Anonymous is brought to the floor, and with that, overtime burns down. So unfortunate there for the side of Ray Dragons.
Yeah, really unfortunate, because you had the Graviton Surge, you had the Deadeye. However, you can't use them while you're on the floor. Lochu blocks the slam and then hits them all right back. I think that was a 6-man slam. Lochu popping off on the Reinhardt here in our GGEU matches.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, we talked about it before their attack, but I think that really shows kind of where a little bit of the weakness lies in Sharky. She commits to plays and does not stop until the objective is complete. She went for the Earth Shatter, missed. Continued swinging, should have known full well that Lotu was going to have that counter shatter. Didn't realize it, got shattered, and the entire team went down. And that's a house of cards.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if we see something a little bit different out of the side of Ray Dragons, as they have to basically hold point A. They're going to go for the standard Lucian Moira composition with the Ryan Zarya, and not too many surprises from them. And on the offense, it looks like we're seeing a little bit of sneaky symmetry here from Jaeger. Let's see how it happens.
Yeah, not sure how they're going to utilize this sim teleporter. Curious to know if they're just going to do a clever wrap around the back end. Either way, Inoki changing up their look for the 3rd time on this soldier. I like it. I'm hoping that they are going to be really proficient in it. Renamn is on this Junkrat trying to get some early damage in with those Junkrat grenades. The teleporter going to be taking them right up to high, but the teleporter gets torn down before all of BoomerSquad can make it through, and with that, Ruby and Lotu going to be torn apart by the Ray Dragons.
Yeah, Ruby and Luchi both get through the teleporter, however their supports don't, which means that they have no healing resources for the tank line, and they're swiftly destroyed on that high ground. Interesting to see if they will stick on the Symmetra and try something else. No, they're not. They're going to go on the Lafara and take to Soldier 76 for... No, they're not. They're going to switch on to the 4v1, that's good for you again, and they're going to try and poke them down from range off of the high ground.
Yeah, that Torbjorn has some good long-range damage. So this Hanzo main as he lands a shot into Renamnes on that Junkrat. Gonna be focusing now on Inoki on that high ground with the soldier. Just quickly switching focus here. Sharky dangerously low, playing where Sharky plays at the very front. And now it looks like a matter of time for the side of Rage Dragons. Although Cinnabotto trying to make things come back a little bit, not quite able to though, as the numbers are looking meager for the side of Rage Dragons. BoomerSquad looking pretty dominant so far. Lucio having to play very carefully. Ascarius trying to keep their team alive. Anonymous not quite getting the memo though. Cinnabotto getting swung on, plays very carefully, has that grab, would love to walk away surviving that.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to get this point. However, Sharky coming in aggressive, trying to get a kill, doesn't quite get it. Although it does force out the coalescence, which might make future fights. They might get one more after this point a little bit easier on them, especially since they have the coalescence, Graviton Surge, Tactical Visor, and Soundbarrier coming in.
Yeah, if this fight goes even a moment too long, it will be great for the side of Rage Dragons. And it's going to be the Sound Barrier online, as you mentioned, to kind of counteract things, but it will be probably for both sides. As we look ahead, there is not much distance that this cart needs to travel. Both teams have to really get it to point, and with that, the contest needs to come through. Nobody can even contest. Nobody can contest from the Rage Dragons, and just like that, BoomerSquad's going to walk it in to the end of the field.
It was a bit anticlimactic, wasn't we? We had this like crazy map of Holy with both teams capping all 3 points and getting an extra one, and then that just happens they can't even make it to the point. And like both teams had tools. That could have been a really fun and interesting fight, but it didn't end up happening. We didn't get our wish. And looking at this, Lochu's Earth Shadow like decided the map essentially, winning the map for BoomerSquad and helping them take a 2-1 lead in this series.
Yeah, and you know this is very back and forth so far. And I'm not too opposed to it. So far, I think we've seen some fair plays coming out of both sides. It seems like when Rage Dragons are iffy on something, they can't perform it. Like that's I think why we're seeing Inoki lean on that Genji so much. Maybe they're just not as comfortable as McCree. We saw them on the Soldier. It didn't really seem to find the value that they needed it to. And I think it kind of implies that Sharky has to play a little bit of a different way too, knowing that Sharky has a very aggressive play style. There's so many moving parts with this team that it's so complex, even for such a game tiered at where we are.
Yeah, as I was saying, Rage Dragons have an identity, which is super nice, but when that identity gets shattered, they're kind of lost. They are just completely lost when that identity gets shattered. Anything that usually is there for them, it gets taken away from them, and then they're again struggling. BoomerSquad, as I was saying, though, is more solidified, more of a unit, have more controlled compositions, and they seem a lot more solidified than the Rage Dragons. However, don't really have an identity in place, though. So it's definitely like an opposite versus opposite type of thing that we are seeing in this matchup. But it is definitely interesting to watch, and we are coming up to the Assault game mode. And I'm hoping we see Volskaya. I mean, little known fact about me is Volskaya Industries is actually my favorite map in Overwatch.
Well, it looks like if Rage Dragons have their way, it might be Volskaya. They marked down that Assault is their preferred Volskaya map, but
Assault is their preferred Volskaya map?
You flip that. Flip the script.
Flip it around.
We're on the same track. But it's kind of curious because at this point, you know that Ruby and Lotu make a good Zarya Ryan combination, and that's I don't know. I think that's a fair composition to run on Volskaya. So we're going to be seeing it. It's coming up. We've just gotten word that Volskaya is going to be the next map. But does that change the dynamic at all from something we saw or from the likes we saw on Hollywood?
So I excuse my celebratory actions as I heard that we got Volskaya Industries from our producer. I've got a bit excited as I do get to see my favorite map in all of Overwatch. But on this map, I do feel like the D.Va Winston is the best tank combination if you're looking at Overwatch history on Volskaya Industries. But the Ryan Zarya composition has always been good to an extent on this map. So we will probably see Ryan Zarya from BoomerSquad as they attempt to finish off this series. And Rage Dragons, I expect to see more of the same from them, just whatever they are comfortable on. Sharky's aggressive style is probably what we're going to see again. And Noki will probably try to play the Genji. We have seen Genji get some value on this map before, but heroes like Ashe, McCree, and Sombra tend to be better heroes on this map.
Yeah, a definite throwback to Sombra whenever Volskaya is seen. I remember
Old health pack.
I always talk about it whenever I see Volskaya or Route 66. Hacked health packs were so good for Sombra in those maps. And it looks like I mean, we're probably not going to see Sombra. I'm going to say that for these teams, it just doesn't seem like their play style and their hero pools to really pull out the Sombra. But if we were going to see it on a map, I'd be willing to say it's this one.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, you used to run Sombra as a flex support on this map, so as a support because you just got so much healing and EMP charge from that health pack on this map and Route 66. Of course, Route 66 on first point, you have both of the health packs on point A and both mega health packs on point B as well to kind of play with the Sombra and have it as a flex support. And on this map, there's a mega health pack room that's really good for natural cover and your support's positioning, where you can just sit there and get as much healing as you want from that. So you used to run Sombra as a flex support before 2-2 on this map. Interesting big piece of Overwatch history that you don't hear anywhere else, here on the GitGud broadcast.
Yeah, we're opening up the annals of history when it comes to the Overwatch. We're dusting off the textbooks or bringing you all the facts. I'm sure everybody knows about the fact that Bastion used to have a shield, and I'm going to keep talking about it because I'm so glad they didn't make that change a permanent thing.
Imagine if that was still in the game today. That would be ridiculous.
Make it like a quad shield meta then at that point. You just have Orisa in front of Ryan, behind Sigma, the Bastion just blowing bullets through 4 shields at that rate. It would be painful.
Yeah, it definitely would be painful, but not as painful as Brigitte whip-shotting you off the map. Yeah, I had to mention Brigitte again for my paychecks concerns. So heading into Volskaya, do you see Rise Dragons kind of switching up their playstyle because it is an assault game mode where you need to make sure that you get both points, or do you see them just going heads first in?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know if Genji is certainly going to be the option here for either of these chokes. That being said, if you take Inoki off the Genji, maybe they play McCree, some other hit scan. But other than that, we haven't seen a lot of dominance from them on anything but Genji and a few times on McCree. Renomnids, I actually, for this level, for where we're at in the classification, I don't think I mind the Junkrat here, because this first choke on Volskaya, where we see teams hold very far forward, right at that truck area underneath the overpass, that can absolutely just funnel a lot of damage in rather quick. So I would probably be okay seeing that here in this elo.
Yeah, definitely. Although Volskaya has one of the lesser open chokes than you do see in this assault or 2CP game mode, so definitely a little bit less strong than the other assault maps. It looks like we are seeing Loadet back into the lineup for Rumsky, so we are seeing another change in support core for this map, for the 4th map, and the 4th time in the series we're seeing a sort of mix up in the support core for the BoomerSquad. So I definitely like the fact that these supports have maps that they prefer. And on the offense, it looks like Inoki is going to put a Genji, so we'll see if that has any value to it. On the defense, we see this double shield with the Symmetra having a go at the defense.
Yeah, I'm a little bit interested to see the Symmetra on the defense. I think that this is the map where you get the closest variable towards defense and offense in usage, but we'll have to see if the Jaeger can find that value. Jaeger seems to just pull out anything they want at any random time, but it all seems like equal effectiveness. We'll see if that holds true. Inoki going to be going to this choke. We'll see if they get zapped by any of those Sim turrets. Doesn't seem like they're going to be too quick to post for them. And no, in fact, not going to be any defensive turret position set up there. Real Jaeger using the Symmetra teleporter and using those turrets as well to burn down Inoki as they try to dive onto their team on the high ground. Of course, it will be team members dropping down onto the low ground just to contest that point, not giving up anything for free, of course. And BoomerSquad doing a lot of damage here on defense like they need to. And I liked the Sim. I liked the teleporting capabilities they had.
Yeah, I really like where the Symmetra turrets were to protect their double shield composition, as I know Inoki and Sharky are going to try and play as aggressive as possible. Inoki went on very, very early, and I also like Lochu's holds again. Over the course of the series have improved drastically, and Ruby was able to get maximum value off those, getting 3 kills off of Lochu's holds on the Orisa. So definitely like the tank pairing on the side of the...
Yeah, certainly seems to be working for him as well. Some big damage coming through from Hanzo main. 2 headshots onto Renomzik as well as Ascarius, and able to get those kills. Real Jaeger continuing to burn down people with the laser. This DPS duo is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, so basically, they were trying to wall their own Reinhardt up to the high ground so they could swing. However, in the process of getting their Reinhardt up to the high ground, they didn't have enough defensive utility cooldowns. Usually, the best example of that is a defense bench with your D.Va to get their Reinhardt in that position so they could wall them up. And that meant that Hanzo could just shoot freely at the roster on Ray Dragons. It meant that they were able to get a couple of kills. And our ultimates are live for the defense. It's really difficult for Ray Dragons to break through them.
Yeah, Sharky taken down dangerously low, but the defense going to be pulling in a few kills now that Reinhardt main has to back up a little bit. The tanks now trying to get some damage of their own. Ruby certainly going to be doing her best to make that happen. It's going to be Cinnabotto trying to get away, but again, tank's not allowing that.
Yeah, we're sort of heading into like 2 or 3 fight territory, and there are 6 ultimates online for the defense, which means they can manage their ultimates to an extent where they use 3 this fight and 3 in the last fight, and it's going to be just as potent as using 6 in one fight. So we'll see how it goes for the defense of BoomerSquad. But on the offense, you do have the Graviton Surge and Coalescence combination on wings online, but you need to force them up to the high ground to get Sharky anyway.
Yeah, Sharky throwing in an Earth Shatter, not sure if it was necessary, maybe it had just been a bad finger. Aniki gonna be picked off by Ruby in that grab flux. Ruby gonna be following up with a kill on the Cinnabotto from the grab flux. Inoki taking down 1, but it's probably not enough as his next push continues.
Yeah, they did use 3 of those ultimates, like I said, they would not. We're heading into sort of last fight territory, not really last fight, but sort of last minute territory where you get 1 clean fight. Inoki's going to go over to the Genji, Sharky over to the Winston. They're going to play as aggressive as possible, try and do what they did on first point Junkertown to try and clean up this first point. However, the defense has 3 ultimates online to try and kill them.
We'll certainly see. As he gets moving forward, we'll see if this aggression from Sharky comes through heavy. Aniki has the coalescence to try to keep them alive. Not going to be popping it immediately though. And now Sharky goes in for the dive, pushes everybody off that high ground. That's really what they needed, but the real Jaeger going to be capitalizing on Omnis, getting out of position, going to be focusing that Junkrat. And Cinnabotto now leveling things out a little bit. Lilinet there no longer has the immortality field, and suddenly Ray Dragon's looking a little bit more dominant here, but Sharky is burned down by Hanzo main, not able to get away from that damage, especially from the coalescence that DJ Zylstra is throwing down on them. And the grab trying to come out, but it's just Cinnabotto as well as Aniki there. Aniki can't even follow up too much because they are so dangerously low. Phenomenon is on this Junkrat trying to make something happen. Bomb going out, and looks like this is it.
They did look a little stronger with the Genji and the Winston. They were able to finally force BoomerSquad off of the high ground, but now they're in a situation where BoomerSquad need 1 take of point Evo Sky and can kind of just set up for like an EMP self-destruct combo to try and win this map. And it wasn't great from Red Dragons. They were kind of just running into them without any sort of thought about it before they actually made an offense. They looked okay in the fight they ran dive to try and push them off the high ground, but other than that, nothing really convincing from Red Dragons. Cinnabotto trying at the end to get that Graviton Surge with full value, but maybe should have waited for Renominus to get into a better position to fire Junkrat damage in. But other than that, poor from Red Dragons, good for BoomerSquad. Let's see if BoomerSquad can finish off this series. They just need a take here on Blue Sky Industries.
You gotta think that BoomerSquad is in a real good spot to finish strong here. They need 1 take in 4 minutes. Certainly have to agree with the sentiment that, you know, they're kind of a shoe-in, and it looks like even Ray Dragons are going to be feeling a little bit desperate as Renom is going to be hopping onto the Bastion, the least honorable of tactics, I think.
The least honorable of tactics. We've seen double shield this entire series.
I'll say it. I dislike Bastion more than I dislike double shield.
Okay. So Sir Walton, I don't think we're casting again together. I'm not comfortable in this environment. not happening. Anyways, we have the real Jaeger going on the Sombra on the offense to try and build up an AMP and just go for a quick fight win, and I think I agree with that sort of fight plan from the real Jaeger.
Yeah, absolutely. The Sombra are going to be very powerful as well. Just an early scouting tool, let you know where your opponents are set up, and it's going to be even more effective against this Bastion. Renomin is going to be just hacked out of form if he doesn't catch the real Jaeger early enough. But right now it looks like Ray Dragon's not sure where they want to set up. They're instead going to be setting up a right on the point. Will be spotted out by the Jaeger. Going to take it down. Inoki though traded. That's going to be working out very well for the offense as there is a longer walk back for the defense. And with this low 2 trying to make something happen, getting those swings in. Fire Strike doesn't quite find anything. Going for the pin, but it's eaten by Sharky. Sharky able to save Renomnitz from dropping in that Bastion form. And right now, it's a good first fight so far. Inoki even able to get back onto the field and take it. Recover.
Yeah, so one thing to note is when Inoki got the pick onto Darrell Jaeger, that he was unable to build up any ultimate charge towards that decisive EMP, which is going to be really difficult for them to win without that EMP. However, was it picked off by Hanselman? And also, really nice play from Sharky to body block Lotu's pin to keep Rionas on the Bastion line.
Yeah, I certainly have to agree. Sharky made a great play there. Sharky taken down by Lotu, another good opening made here. The defense is going to be feeling pretty comfortable. That Lucio getting pestered by Genji, but Inoki going to get pooped off, and Lil Net going to be able to get away home free for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, this is all well and good, you know. Sharky's fighting really well on the Reinhardt, blocking up a couple fights, but really it comes down to the EMP fight. How big is the EMP from Darrell Jaeger? How fast does he build it up? And what value and follow-up comes from?
Yeah, it's certainly something that the Ray Dragons are going to have to keep eyes out for, as we see a little bit of chip damage coming through from Inoki. What they want to do is try to take out Darrell Jaeger as soon as possible. Bastion setting up in the backline. Renomna is going to be getting hacked, not able to deal that damage out in full. Lilinet taken down on that Lucio, getting a double. Inoki is with the swing of the Dragon Blade. Darrell Jaeger tried to come out. Darrell Jaeger tried to drop the EMP, didn't land it, instead drops all of their ult charge, and that might have saved the Ray Dragons here.
That's the decisive moment in this match. Darrell Jaeger goes for the EMP, it gets cancelled, which means they lose their main tool to win this map. 5 ultimates are now online for the defense of Ray Dragons. However, the self-destruct, Earth Shatter, and Dragon Strike might have something to say.
We'll have to find out. It will be an apocalypse as we get moving towards these last few fights. Darrell Jaeger on the Ashe, no longer looking to sink into that Sombra pick. The Diva Bomb coming in, no shield coming out from Cidabato. Sigma not able to get it up fast enough to drop, and with that you have to think that it's all money for the BoomerSquad. Inoki able to take down Hanzo main, but not enough. That point ticks up, and with that it's going to go to BoomerSquad, taking it in a 3-1.
Yeah, you had to think, you know, that it was all 4 Ray Dragons after Darrell Jaeger screwed up that EMP and they did not have their main tool of winning. However, Ruby, the hero of the day, comes in with a clutch self-destruct and she hands her team. And BoomerSquad a 3-1 victory, which matches a 3-1 record, which is not a 4-1 record, heading into the next week of GitGud.
Yeah, overall, I was genuinely extremely excited when I saw the EMP come out and get canceled by Inoki. They have been playing this Genji. We've been talking smack about them on Genji on and off throughout this cast, and they just cut that Sombra in half mid-EMP, but it's not enough to win them the fight. I'm a little bit disappointed for the Ray Dragons, but I think BoomerSquad gave them a real good game.
Yeah, so we didn't do this in our last series, kind of because I forgot, but who in this matchup do you think was the MVP for the BoomerSquad?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like there's a lot. I'm going to say this not because I'm dissing on them, but just because that's not how the numbers work out. It's not going to be from the support line, all right? I want somebody who is in there for all 4 games. I got to kind of give it to... I'm going to say Lotu. It might just be because I like the shield tank, you know, concept, but I think Lotu, especially on Lijiang, they made a great name for themselves from the get-go, getting that quad kill off the back end. It has to be them for me.
Yeah, Lotu as well, clutching out Hollywood on second point in the repeated offenses, if you remember, where Lotu got the 6-man slam and won out Hollywood. But another one I think we have to bring attention to is his tank partner in Ruby, who clutched up with the self-destruct on both Sky Industries. They looked like a really solid tank line when they were on their comfort picks throughout the rest of the series. And another thing, of course, let's point out Cidabato on the other tank line for Ray Dragons and Sharky, who had a very nice identity with them, but didn't quite have the solidity to help them win the series.
Yeah, I liked the dynamic come out of Sharky and Cidabato, especially I think Cidabato had the mechanical skill that made them a really sharp Zarya when it comes to, you know, just tracking. I think we saw a lot of that come through. It just doesn't look like the rest of the team was quite able to keep up, whether that's on the DPS or on the supports. It could be argued either way, I think. But overall, I think that, you know, definitely some accolades deserve to go over to the Ray Dragons as well. They didn't just get absolutely creamed. It was a map that went in their favor as well. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I did enjoy seeing the matchup Solidity versus Identity. Solidity takes it this time, but we'll see if it happens later on in the tournament in any of our divisions. What a great night of the Overwatch action.
Yeah, certainly. It's been a great night here. Well, it's, I guess, an afternoon for me. It's been a great time of day, no matter where you're at, for us casting some good old EU games for the GitGud tournament. But Ocean, I think we are about done here. Do you want to go ahead and sign us off?
Yeah, thanks for joining us for these EU Overwatch actions, and thank you to all 4 teams who put on a great show for us. Whole Snack, Beat Swarm, BoomerSquad, and Ray Dragons. Thank you so much for coming out to this show. We enjoyed bringing you our sort of opinions, analytics, and views from the casting booth and from Sir Walter and I. Good night, and hopefully we'll catch you at our NA.